Vishakhamithamscha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunjavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriya Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaurav Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. So we are discussing from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, shloka 30, 31 we discussed last time. Today we will complete this chapter and go to 10th chapter. Before we start, some devotees can share the points from previous class where we discussed especially on 30, 31 and PPT of are we practicing pure devotional service? Some points from that. Who want to start sharing? Yes, Jai Shri Radha Mataji.
Last time we discussed that because of some conditionings, devotee maybe could not follow the standards of the devotion, or he may engage in the abominable activities. But even though he is engaged in devotional service, we should consider him as a saintly person. And for that, you gave one example that one devotee is a chain smoker, and he was continuously smoking, but he was engaged in devotional service also. So, and slowly he overcome from that conditioning. That's it.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji. Okay, somebody else want to share from these two shlokas and PPT discussed? Arun, you want to share something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You were, yes. I think, in last week also in the.
Sorry, Prabhuji.
Last week also, I think you could not attend full classes.
Yeah, full I could not attend. Actually, I was not healthy. In half class, like I was too much sleepy, so I took rest actually. So I was. I remember that we were discussing the sadhu rev, the word of sadhu, the significance of the word. So it's not that Krishna will forgive everyone, but there is
1 minute.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, please continue.
So we were discussing the purport of sadhu rev. The meaning of the word sadhu, that it depends on like here Prabhupada gives the translation as a saint, but it means it indicates the intentions of the sadhu or the motivation behind the devotional service, that why is he actually doing, and based on that whether Krishna will forgive or not, and therefore it is not like that anyone can take benefit of this shloka and do nonsense. Instead, if one is doing trying to do pure devotional service, and in that case, if someone falls or happens to do some mistake in the practice of devotional service, then Krishna takes guarantee. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Yes, thank you, bro. Anybody else want to share?
Prabhu, you also mentioned that one should not take disadvantage of this verse and commit nonsense. And you mentioned, give a reference of 7th offense, basically, that we should be sincere about doing the devotional service.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to share? No, yes, Bhakti Lila. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna.
in 9.31, we discussed the question, okay, will he become righteous? Then Lord will answer here, yes, Shipram, the word is used here, very quickly he become righteous.
Righteous.
Yes. And this person, although he did many abominable actions, but Lord call him Name Bhaktya Pranashyate, means वो कभी destroy नहीं होता है उसका. Then we discuss the commentary of Acharya, how can you accept a worship of such a sinful person, and how can you drink and eat offered by him with lust and angers. So Lord again answer here his attitude regarding it, and this devotees is thinking no one is no one is as low as me, and I am bringing the bad name to the devotees like this. So I want to give up. So he has the pure faith. So his attitude is like this. Then again we discuss this 5 stages of unearthas happen, means after you gave the example of the medicine. After taking the medicines we see the effect of after some time, not immediate effect we saw. Similarly, the distractions of these anarthas happen gradually, not one day process. You said in sadhaka's life, it's a gradual, everyday process actually. That bahu vartini, 65% something you were telling. And then again also you gave the example of this toothless snake, right? And again Ajamila's example also. And so many points we discussed, Prabhuji, last time.
Yeah, few you can share, miss, just few.
Yes. Again, that's it. Next, Shraddha part, Swabhav and pure Shraddha and Swabhavajam. Swabhav, these 2 parts you take. Where we discuss the NOD's first shloka.
Yeah, definition of pure
That's
devotions.
4 types. Yes, that 4 types. And then Tamashrik, Tatvik Shraddha and something else.
Tatvik Shraddha.
Yes, Tatvik Shraddha and Atatvik Shraddha also we discuss. Means one is based on the scripture where the Chudamani and Vaishnav Das Babaji's conversation we heard. And in Atatvik Shraddha, you said that this Shraddha is based on the lot of pride, greed, then mask of religiosity. Means mainly depends on the Rajasic and Tamashrik Shraddha. Then the 5 stages of nullification. That's it.
Yes. Thank you, Mata. In short, you described whole thing. Okay, anybody else want to share what we discussed last Saturday, Sunday?
Would you also mentioned for pure devotional services 3 types of bhaktis, like Tamo Guna, Raja Guna, and Sattva Guna Bhakti.
Yeah.
It refers to 3.29.
Third canto, 29th chapter. Yeah. Yeah, Arun.
Like we have discussed from Bhagavad Gita 9.31 that Krishna says, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. So we have discussed, I think from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commentaries, that he asked the question, why is Krishna asking Arjuna to declare it? Then he gives the answer that when if Krishna is saying that if I say, then it may happen that I may break it. But if my devotee says, then I will have to do it. And then he gives the example of Bhishmadev, that because Bhishma had taken the vow, and therefore to fulfill the vow of his devotee, he had broken his vow. So therefore he says that when you declare it, Arjuna, then it will be sure that I'll have to follow. And therefore we have studied that Krishna asked Arjun to declare that my devotee will never perish.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, anybody else want to share last? I am nervous for you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we discussed about 4 type of anarthas. So one was arising from our previous sinful activities. So we discussed the example of a fan, the fan because of momentum, it still keep on rotating. And then we discuss anarthas because arising from pious activities. So we discussed the example of, like some people come from a background of a very pious, they are practicing some spirituality. And when they understand that, taking uchishta of a devotee, they think that it is not good. So that example was discussed. And then we discussed from Nama Prad, the 10 offenses against chanting of holy name. And we discussed anarthas coming from bhakti, that some fruits, if a person doesn't handle carefully, like post, position, wealth, which comes through the practice of bhakti. So these 4 anarthas were discussed. And then 5 grades of anartha nivritti was also discussed. Ekadesha, avartini.
Yeah, Ekdesh, Vartini, Bahudesh, Vartini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Praiki, Purna, and Atyanki. So it is Ekadesha Vartini is limited to only one anartha. Bahudesha Vartini is many anarthas. And Praiki is almost complete, 75% is there. And Purna is complete. And then Atyantiki is absolute. So yeah, we discussed about this anartha nivritti process.
Yeah. Basically, conclusion was that verse is saying Shipram Bhakti Dharmatma. Very soon he becomes righteous, but that very soon can be different for different devotees because their intensity of practice may be different, and their basically aparadha in last life or this life may be different. So effect of bhakti will be different. Thank you. Yeah, Shri Ganga Putra Prabhu. Only some light is visible, some Brahman is visible from behind. Yeah.
I'll change my location.
It's okay.
Previous to that, with this connection of the 9.31, you were explaining from the slides also many things. Like what are the symptoms of a Vaidhi Bhakti? Like why Lord is telling he is Shipram, how he is not follow, and how we need to give him respected. How he is worshipable, like in that connection. So we were mentioning some of the definition of a Vaidhi Bhakti. Like he has awakened faith in the process of bhakti. Actually, he's just like he's on the process of becoming perfected in devotional service, but he has already awakened the faith in the process of bhakti. That is one of the point you are saying. The second point, like he's completely disgusted with his prescribed duties, and he understands that the sense gratification leads to misery. He completely understands, and he's convinced also, but still he in some cases he is unable to control, so he commits that mistakes or commit that sin. Then the point is he repenting himself, why I have done like that. So that's why Krishna is saying like 9.31.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so we will go to the 32 verse. Okay. Are you able to see?
Yes, Praji, we can say.
So this section, as we discussed, that Lord is discussing about the incidental fall or accidental fall, and now here he is going to discuss about if what if the faults are not accidental or incidental, but they are by nature. It is there in some people. Okay, means it's not that they were impure by birth. Okay, there are some people who may be impure by birth, and it's okay if they commit some bad activities, abominable activities. Okay, but previously whatever 30 and 31 was discussed was people who do sometimes the abominable acts. But now the discussion is going to start about those who by nature have been habituated to commit some abominable activity. Okay, so that is the difference between the previous section and this section that we are going to discuss. Okay. Yeah. मां हि पार्थ व्यपाश्रित्य येऽपि स्युः पापयोनयः प्रियो वैश्यास् तथा शूद्रा तेऽपि यान्ति परां गतिम्. So I would like to read. Harsh Prasannatma Prabhu, do you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. O son of Prithvi.
1 minute. Your voice is like coming from inside the well. It's resounding and something is happening. So maybe you can use a earphone, something if you have, or try speaking now. Speak now. No, it is same. Maybe you are sitting in a hall or something. You can try to use earphone if you have. I can ask somebody else to read as of now. Yeah, Nagnijiti Nagnijiti Mataji. Are you okay? You can read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, I couldn't hear you clearly.
No,
Should
please
I be
read.
reading?
Yeah.
Translation?
My voice is breaking, or is it not coming properly?
It was very low for me. I don't know for others. If it's a problem on my side, I don't know.
Still it is low?
It's okay. It's okay, Prabhu. No
It's
problem.
okay.
Okay, continue.
O son of Pritha, those who take shelter of me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, and Shudras workers, gain the supreme destination.
Yes, thank you. So as I told, these are people who are not having by the push of their vasanas, the abominable acts committed, but they are having low birth. Okay, means it's in their, like sometimes we say it's in the blood of a person. If he's born in a businessman's family, it said that it is in his blood to do business. Correct. So like that, some people who are born in a lower family, it may be that it's natural for them to commit abominable activity. Okay. So what are the examples given here? So that is only this. Papayonaya is this, which is also called outcast. Means outside the Varnashma system. See what Prabhupada has translated. Born of a lower family. Basically, that is outcast, or in Sanskrit we call it as Antyaja. Okay, Antyaja means those who have taken birth. Ja means take birth in the Antya, in the lower families. Okay, so they are told here as outcast or outside Varnashram system. So what is Varnashram system? So we have 4 Varnas and 4 Ashramas. So they don't fit into that. They are called Papayonaya. Okay. And there is a misconception about this verse that Striyo, Vaishya and Shudra. So they are also considered as Papayonaya, which is wrong understanding. Okay. So the right understanding is these 3 Striyo, that is women, Vaishya, they are businessmen as we understand, and Shudra, that is lower class. Okay. They are all under Varnashma system. Okay, they are included. Okay. And this Papayonaya, they are Varnashma system excluded. So sometimes devotees have a misunderstanding that what the verse is saying is that these Papayonaya are of 3 types. Who? Striyo, Vaishya and Shudra. No, that is wrong understanding. Okay, what the verse is saying, see, those who take shelter in me, Maam, he means what? Only or certainly. Okay, he is saying to Arjuna, Partha, Vyapashritya. Okay, particularly Ashritya means sheltered. What kind of shelter? Special shelter, or particularly they have taken shelter in me, not in any other demigod. Okay, and what he is saying, Ye api shu papayonaya, though api they be of lower birth, even though they may be of lower birth, they have taken shelter of me. Okay, even though they may be of lower birth. And then he's saying that women, that is Striyo, Vaishya, Tatha Shudra and Shudras can attain the supreme destination. So how the verse should be understood is that these 3, Striyo, okay, let me write here, Striyo, Vaishya, Tatha Shudra, okay, they also by nature have some sinful tendency. Okay, that will be explained in the commentary, but they are not Papayonaya. Papayonaya are outcast. They also are delivered. Even Papayonaya are delivered. What to speak of Striyo, Vaishya, Tatha Shudra? Like that, we have to understand the verse. So this is higher and this is the lower. So if this is delivered, what to speak of those who are higher? They are surely delivered. How do we know this? If you see the next verse, what is the next verse? The next verse is saying about the even higher classes. What are the higher classes? See the verse. Kim Punar Brahmana. This is higher class. Bhakta, even higher class. Rajarishi, they are all higher classes. So they are also, how much more this is so for the righteous Brahmanas, devotees, and saintly kings. So see, even these are more higher categories. Okay, these are even higher compared to the previous categories. So here you see, so this, if you say this is lower category, then this is higher category, and then next verse speaks even higher category. Okay, that's how we have to understand this verse. Okay, so we should not explain that Stri, Vaishya, and Shudra are outcasts or they are Papayonaya. No, that is not the understanding of this verse. So this verse is talking about naturally. Naturally means by their nature, I mean. Okay, naturally inclined to sin. Okay. Okay. How about those who are naturally inclined to sin? This verse is talking about them. So who is that? That is Papa Yoneha. Papa means sin. Yoneha means birth, sinful birth. Means they are naturally or habituated to do sin. Okay. So they are also delivered. What to speak of Striyo, Vaishya and Shudra? Okay. Stri, Vaishya and Shudra, they are not as high as Brahmana, but they are also not as low as Papayoni. That is the understanding of this verse. Okay. This will be clear from the commentary. Yes, Mataji, please read.
Commentary by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Is it so remarkable that my bhakti does not consider the accidental faults arising by actions of my misbehaving devotee. For my bhakti does not even consider the inherent faults of such a person which arise from his very birth. Even
So
those
here one word has to be noted. This is inherent fault. Okay, and from where that is coming? That's coming from the birth. Okay, like for women, it may be sometimes understood that they may have impurity. Okay, or they may have more bodily consciousness compared to a man. Okay, so that may be the inherent thing from the birth. But in general, also we have seen that like women, when they become devotees, they are not doubtful as much as men. So they have their good part, and they can very easily put faith in God, and they can very easily do the services without asking too many questions. But we have seen many times men, even though they are convinced, but they may be still thinking whether this service should be done or how it should be done. So those things are there. But there are some inherent faults, as we know from sixth canto also, that a woman may be having impurities of their body sometime, and sometime there the bodily consciousness may be more. Similarly, we understand about Shudra. So Shudras also, they may have some inherent bad characteristics by their birth. They may be too much attached to sense gratification. Okay. And Vaishya, they have the inherent fault of speaking lies. So the Vaishyas, they have to do business. So for doing business, Prabhupada, as he says many times, so what is the cost? If you ask, he will not tell the actual cost. He will tell something extra because he has to get the profit. So there are some inherent faults in there. That's why they are considered here in this verse. Okay. And the Papionia are even lower. That is understanding. Yes, Madhu.
even those of sinful birth, papayonia, outcast or nachas, who surrender to me attain the supreme goal. Kirata, Hundara, Pulinda, Pulakasa, Abhira, Sumba, Yavana, Kashadaya, Yenya, Cha Papa Yat, Apashrayashraya, Shuddhayanti, Tasmai Prabhave Vishnave Namaha. Kirata, Huna, Andhra, Pulinda, Pulakasa, Abhiras, Sumbha, Yavana, members of the Khasa races and even other addicted to sinful acts can be purified by taking shelter of the devotees of the Lord due to his being the supreme power. I beg to offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18.
Yeah, so this verse you can see, this is the explanation about the lower caste or outcast. But here is the explanation about the first, the higher caste basically. Okay. They may have inherent faults, okay, which may arise from their birth. And then he's saying even those who are sinful. So he is separating from this category and this category. Okay, it will be more clear. Maybe. Yeah, please read. Okay, I'll say the shloka. Aho bata swapachoto gariyan ya jivagre vartate nama tubhyam te pustapaste juhu shashnu arya brahma nuchurnama grananti te. Please read.
Oh, how glorious are they whose tongues are chanting your holy name. Even if born in the families of dog eaters, such persons are worshipable. Persons who chant the holy name of your lordship must have executed all kinds of austerities and fire sacrifices and achieved all the good manners of the Aryans. To be chanting the holy name of your lordship, they must have bathed at holy places of pilgrimage, studied the Vedas, and fulfilled everything required. Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.7. What they do speak of women, Vaishyas, or others who are impure or subject to bad qualities, such as living,
Line.
lying.
Yeah, so basically, so this whole quotation is about the glory of Patha Bhakti. And in context of what? Outcasts. Okay, because all the names which are given are of the outcast. See here, these are the lower caste or who are outside the Varnashram system. Okay, they are named here. So they are addicted to sinful acts. And what happens to them? They are purified. Sudhyanti tasmai. All these are purified. By what? Prabha Vishnave Namaha. By performing the, okay, he offering respects by performing the devotional service, basically. So that is cleared here also, clarified here also. By chanting, they are all becoming pure. So then see, you see the contrast here. The contrast is made. Okay, for the higher people. Who are the higher people? What then to speak of? Okay, women, Vaishyas, or others who are impure or subject to bad qualities like lying. So who is remaining? Yeah, so Vaishyas and Shudra. Like that. So we can see here clearly that they are not in the same category. Okay. So that understanding of the verse where somebody is saying that the women are called here as the Papa Yonaya or the of sinful birth, that is wrong understanding of this verse. Okay. Yeah, read ahead.
Going to the assembly of disputers with the loud sound of kettle drums, raising your arms without fear, declare that I, the Supreme Lord, will purify my exclusive devotees of incidental sins.
Yeah, this
What
is
is-
talking about which verse? Incidental sins. Where did we discuss about this incidental sins?
Apiche Sudurachara.
Yeah, so this is talking about 9.30. Okay. Yeah, read ahead.
What is so remarkable about purifying those devotees who commit accidental or occasional sin?
So he's asking, he's questioning the Lord. Oh, Lord, you said that, oh, Shipram Bhavati Dharmatma, yes, they will get very quickly purified. Very good. But I am not talking about them. I am asking about those who are sinful by birth. So read the answer here.
Even those who are the most sinful and are not my devotees, by devotee association become completely freed of ignorance and become specially liberated. That is expressed in this verse. Even those of very sinful birth, outcasts, Papayonia, who have natural inclination to sin, taking shelter of me, the Lord of all, the son of Vasudeva, by association with my devotees, attain the supreme state, Gatim. They attain me, which is rare even for yogis, Param. This is certain.
Yeah, so very, very important point Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying here. So this is very important here, said, even those who are of sinful birth. Okay. So sinful birth are who? Those 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Striya, Vaishya, Tatha, Shudra. And they are separated from Papa Yonaya, the outcasts. Okay, here is the outcast. So these two are, let's say this is 4. Okay. This 2. And this is 3. Okay, so here he is saying that these 4 who have a natural inclination to sin, they taking shelter of me, they are purified. Okay, and what kind of attainment they get? Param Gati. Even higher than the yogis. What do the yogis get? The yogis get some liberation in Brahman, or at the maximum, they get Shantarati, as we discussed earlier. They don't attain the relationship with the Lord in Sakhya or Vatsalya or Madhurya, anything like that. But these people, because they have taken up to my devotional service, they will be purified and they will get how they have taken up devotional service. Here said association with my devotees. Okay, devotee association. So they attain the supreme state. Okay, Paramam Gati, like that. Yeah, read Baldev Vidyabhushan's commentary.
Baldev Vidyabhushan, going to the assembly of disputers with the loud, I think we just, sound of kettle drums, raising your arms without fear,
Yeah,
declare
similar,
that
I think. Yeah, similar thing we read here. Yeah, please.
Should I read again?
Yeah, it's similar. We read.
It's similar. Raising your arms without fear, declare that I, the Supreme Lord, will purify my exclusive devotees of incidental sins. What is so remarkable about purifying those devotees who commit accidental or occasional sin? Even those who are the most sinful and are not my devotees, by devotee association, become completely freed of ignorance and become specially liberated. That is expressed in this verse.
Yeah, so similar to what Srila Vishwanath told. So they are, see, all the acharyas are focusing on this only, devotee association. Okay, they become purified, they become free of ignorance, they become specially liberated. So what Vishwanath also told, Param Gati, correct? That word is used. So same thing Baldev Vidyabhushan also is saying here. Yeah, and he's quoting the same verse here. And yeah, read this.
In mentioning women, Shudras, and Vaishyas, the Lord indicates that all those who are impure or have disagreeable qualities by nature, by taking to devotional service, will attain the Lord.
Yeah, so here, as we discussed earlier, so they may have some disagreeable qualities. Okay, they may be having some like more bodily consciousness, or they may be having some more inclination towards the sense gratification or lying, all those things. They may have disagreeable nature, but when they take up to devotional service, they will attain the Lord. Okay, even though it may be by their birth. Okay, the impurity may be by nature or by birth, like that. It may not be accidental. Even they are purified. So that is the summary of this verse. Okay. Yes, please read.
Srila Prabhupada, it is clearly declared here by the Supreme Lord that in devotional service there is no distinction between the lower and higher classes of people. In the material conception of life, there are such divisions, but for a person engaged in transcendental devotional service to the Lord, there are not. Everyone is eligible for the supreme destination. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.18, it is stated that even the lowest, who are called chandalas, dog eaters, can be purified by association with a pure devotee.
Yeah. So here, Prabhupada is saying almost similar points. I want you to do this exercise to find out which part of the verse Prabhupada is saying here. Like he is saying about supreme destination. So what is the part of the verse he is explaining here?
Param Gati.
Yeah, Param Gatim, that is explained here. Okay. It's Param Gatim. So you can always see Prabhupada or any other Acharya also, when they explain the verse, they will explain some part of the verse. It's not just something random comes to their mind and then they will start explaining that random thing. And or we may think always, yeah, Prabhupada always speaks the same thing. No, he speaks the same thing for those who are not reading it deeply. Those who are just keep on reading without thinking what is in the verse, what is behind the verse, what is ahead of the verse. Those who keep on reading like that, for them, Prabhupada is speaking always the same thing. Okay. See here now, it is stated that who are lowest and chandalas can be purified by association with a pure devotee. Which verse he is quoting?
That's Kirata.
Kirata Hunandra, that was quoted previously. Prabhupada has not written the verse, but he is quoting from the previous Acharya. Vishwanacharya Thakur and Srila Bhakti Vidyabhushan both have quoted that. So he is just repeating them. Okay. So where is it mentioned in the verse? This part. What is the part of the verse which is saying about this point?
Papa Yona.
One is Papa Yona, yeah? Okay. So that you mentioned. Sorry?
Lower birth.
Shudra.
Yes, Papa Yona, lower birth, or even yeah, Shudras and all are not in this.
Oh,
they are
yeah.
higher than Papa Yona, as we discussed. See here. We discussed here. See, here was outcast and which are outside one of the system. They were quoted by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Okay, and then after that he is saying what then? So they are separate. Who? Women, Vaishyas and those who are Shudras. They are all separate. So if we understand from here this commentary of Vishwanath Thakur, then we can understand, yes, there is a separation between the Papionaya and these three categories. These 1, 2, and 3. They are separated from this fourth category, which is there previously. Okay. Where we read? Yes. So that is clear. This was talking about the fourth category. Yeah, continue.
Therefore, devotional service and the guidance of a pure devotee are so strong that there is no discrimination between the lower and the higher classes of men. Anyone can take to it.
Yeah, so what is the lower and higher class Prabhupada is talking about now in this verse? Yeah, you wanna respond?
Prajit, the lower classes, as we discussed, this Papayona,
Okay.
and the higher classes. Here, this verse refers to women, Vaishya, Shudras. They are considered higher class here.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, so this is fourth, and these are like higher class. Otherwise, Prabhupada would have told, yes, all are lower class only, and all lower classes can be purified. He is separating here, higher and lower classes. Yeah, continue.
The most simple man taking shelter of the pure devotee can be purified by proper guidance. According to the different modes of material nature, men are classified in the mode of goodness, passion, and the mixed modes of passion and ignorance, and the mode of ignorance. Those lower than them are called chandalas, and they are born in sinful families. Generally, the association of those born in sinful families is not accepted by the higher classes.
Yeah, see here Prabhupada is very clearly separated. Okay, here he is saying about those who are in the Varnashma system. Correct. So this is 1, 2, and 3. And here whom he is talking about? He is talking about the fourth category. Okay. Yes.
But the process of devotional service is so strong that the pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of all the lower classes to attain the highest perfection of life. This is possible only when one takes shelter of Krishna. As indicated here by the word Vyapashritya, one has to take shelter completely of Krishna. Then one can become much greater than great jnanis and yogis.
Yeah. So where it is indicated this, they can become greater than Gyanis and Yogis in the verse. Okay, somebody else. Yeah, Isha Mataji, would you like to speak? Where is it mentioned in the verse? Greater than Gyanis and Yogis?
They can attain Param Gatim.
Yes. But how do you know that that is only mentioned here as greater than Gyanis and Yogis? Okay, yeah. Basically, we discussed in the previous commentary of Baldev Vidyabhushan and Vishwanath Thakur. Here, especially liberated, they indicated the word here, you see. Rare even for yogis, param. Okay, supreme state, gatim. So they have indicated. So on their basis, we can say Prabhupada is writing the same point. Okay, that he is saying they will attain param gatim. Param gatim. Okay, and greater than the Gyanis and Yogis, they'll get a special kind of liberation. What? They will get the liberation in the relationship of Sakhya, Vatsalya, Madhurya, like that. Okay, that is the understanding what Prabhupada is saying. Okay. Okay. So any question on this verse, what we discussed till now? Yes. Vishal wanted to.
Yeah, bro. I just want to clarify further that in particular version, Brahmanas are considered to be of higher, better one, and Shudra and Vaishya are considered to be lower. But typically for Kshatriyas who are into mode of passions, are they to be considered in the higher state basically? Since they are
What you
not
told
being
after
included.
Brahmanas? What you told?
See, Brahmanas
Higher.
Are higher, correct? Na? And
Okay.
here in particular shloka, they have said Vaishya tata Shudra are at low, right? Along with Striya. But for Kshatriyas especially, who are into mode of passion, we have to consider them into higher along with Brahmana.
No. Here it was mentioned. No? See here, the goodness. Those who are Brahmanas, they are supposed to be in mode of goodness. Those who are in the mode of passion, they are like Kshatriyas, more of Kshatriya nature. So already the comparison is there. So goodness is higher than passion. And then there is a mixture of passion and ignorance, that is Vaishyas. So that is even lower, and ignorance is prominent in Shudras. So that is already there. Is it clear?
No, yeah, okay. Since Kshatriyas were not especially mentioned and Brahmanas are mentioned in next verse. So
No. All that is coming in next verse only. Brahmana, Kshatriya, both are considered in the next verse. Rajarshya. So Raja means kings. Kings indicate Kshatriyas.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes, I got it. Yes.
Yeah, Prerna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I have this question from so many years that why women are considered as Papayana?
They are not considered Mataji. Where it was written, they are Papayana.
This we were discussing a lower birth and Papayana, Kriya Vaishya Shudra, Papayana, who have natural inclination to sin. We were reading Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary there. Those of very sinful birth. Why sinful birth? Why woman is of sinful birth? Why their birth is
No, we
considered?
discussed now we discussed in the shloka only Papayana is not applying for Striyas. They are
Okay.
separate category that we discussed, na?
Okay. Well, the Papayana is not applied to Striya. But
No,
lower
that's
birth,
what I was trying to tell in this verse, that Papayana is separate, okay, compared to this Striya, Vaishya and Shudra. So basically 1, 2, 3 are not Papayana.
okay.
Okay. I was explaining that only, Mataji, in this shloka. Okay,
But
so
still Striya women are considered to be of lower birth.
yeah, see, okay, what you're asking, maybe I understood now. See, you are asking they are not Papayana, but they are still of lower birth.
Why? I mean, why
Basically,
of lower
not
birth?
lower birth, no, not lower birth, but still sinful inclinations are there. Okay, not that's what. See, what is mentioned here. Where it came. See, those who commit accidental sins are okay. And then what is the question he is saying? Even those who are most sinful. Okay. Where is that? Vishwanath Chavda percent that they are having, yes, here, inherent faults, basically. Okay, for my bhakti does not even consider the inherent faults of such a person which arise from birth. Who have inherent faults? All have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, they all have inherent faults. Okay, but this fourth is Papayana. Okay, so they are lowest in those who are having faults, and they are higher in those who are having faults. Striya, Vaishya and Shudra are higher. They have some faults, but not so much as this fourth category. Okay, so I'm just writing here, but still sinful in nature due to inherent fault. Okay, from where that came? That came by birth only. Okay. So in the 6th canto, you will read that when Indra, he got a curse, he distributed his curse in 4 entities. One is woman, and second is water, third is tree, and fourth is
Land, Prabhuji?
land. I don't remember what is it.
It's a land only, I guess barren land.
Barren land. Okay, yeah, correct. So yeah, so he distributed among the 4 people. So women have the menstrual cycle, and then the other, like trees have saps which are like considered impure. So like that, all the 4 categories are given some inherent impurity. So that's why they are compared to the people who are having inherent faults by nature. And another understanding that we can have is the Bhagavatam also speaks not about devotees, but in general, women are more conscious of their body. Like in general, we can see also if anybody is asked to get ready for some program or something, or anywhere. I'm not talking about devotees specifically, any other place. You see how much time a man may take for getting ready, and how much time a woman may take time, and they may ask also, how am I looking, whatever. Yeah. So basically, the point is they may be by nature having that simple nature or bodily consciousness more. But as devotees, yeah, we are aware we are not the body, we are soul. But in general, I'm speaking, they may be more bodily conscious. That is seen. Okay. Is it giving some
Yes,
kind of clarity?
it's very much clear. Thank you so much,
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, Arun Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Who
Krishna
is
Prabhuji.
speaking? Anuradha Mataji.
What about the transgender? Where do they come?
Where do they come? Or where do they
Class.
come from?
To which class? Means Papi or which class they will belong?
I have not read Mataji where they belong, so I cannot give you any answer on that. But they are not in the Varnashma system. Yeah, they are considered Anteja only. They are considered Papionia. Means they are not considered under the Varnashma system actually. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. You can ask some cement devotees.
Prabhuji, should it be considered papioni for transgender? Because if I remember, like
Huh.
Bhishma refused to shoot arrows at,
Shikandi?
yes, saying that I will not fight with a woman.
Hmm.
So shouldn't transgender be coming under Striyoni only?
I have not read that part of Mahabharata, so I cannot comment very appropriately. Yeah, but as far as my understanding, they are not considered as woman or man both, right? That's why transgender. Yeah. So I don't know. There is so much things about difference between gender and sex, male, female, and then there are so many other details which I don't know. So modern terminologies are very different. We have to. I don't know. Arun Pro.
Nice. Two questions, Prabhuji. First is like, as we discussed, that all acharyas are focusing on association of devotees. That by association of devotees, one can get clarity. So, what kind of association is stressed here, and what will be the result of association as such in this case particularly?
Yeah. So here it was told, no? See, yeah, even those who are most sinful, and they may not be my devotees as of now. By devotee association, they become completely freed of ignorance, and then they become especially liberated. So this is the immediate effect, which we have discussed sometimes, called Klesha Agni, basically destruction of the sinful tendencies, sinful reactions, aprarabdha, prarabdha, and putam, bijam, avidya, everything is destroyed in gradual sequence. And especially liberated means they will attain the rasa, like madhurya or vatsalya or sakhya, dasya, all these things they will attain. Okay, so this is the final result. Okay, okay, this is one part of the answer. What was the other part of the question you asked?
Like, what kind of
association? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what kind of association is described? Sajatiya, snigdhe, and satovare. That is explained by Vishwanath Chaturvedi in one of the commentaries. I can put it later in the WhatsApp group. You can look
Because
at it.
here in one place like Prabhupada, I think in Prabhupada's purport it has come association of pure devotees, and in some places it is just association of devotees. Therefore, this question came that what kind of association?
Yeah. I will go to Prabhupada's purport. Here. Pure devotee of the Supreme Lord can enable people of the lower class. Like Prabhupada, he went to America, so he enabled the CPs to attain the perfection of life, highest perfection of their life. So that's what he is telling about. So pure devotee means who have pure faith, basically. They have faith in the devotional service. And there is no other contamination. So that's what Prabhupada is saying about. So, and pure devotee can have many gradation. Yeah, I don't want to go in that. Some devotees may not like. There may be gradation in pure devotee. There may be higher level of pure devotee, like even Bhakti Sandarbha tells about 3 levels of pure devotee. First level is like Narada Muni, who is not having any material contamination. He is above the 3 modes and he has a body, spiritual body. Okay, so that is one example. Second one is they give example of Jada Bharat, who, sorry, not Jada Bharat, Sukdev Goswami. Yeah, Sukdev Goswami is not having any influence of the 3 modes, and but he may not have a spiritual body, like that example is given. And third example is given of pure devotee is Jadam Bharat, who may be slightly influenced by three modes that Bhagavatam we know, when Rahuguna pointed out some pointed questions he gave, then his mind was agitated. So Prabhupada also writes, yeah. So sometimes these waves of agitation may come in their mind because of three modes, but in general, they are not agitated by them. So that three levels is given. So that pure devotee may be of different level, and based on their purity, the association may have different effect. Like Prabhupada is considered first category. He is having spiritual body as well as he is having no effect of three modes. So then he can enable more quickly, like that. And we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu like he's the Supreme Lord himself. So he just by touch made them pure devotees. Okay, so there are different levels of association actually. Does that
Thank
answer?
you, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
And
so that
second thing, like you were discussing that how the gradation of devotees or the gradation of people are given. That first it was Papi Onaya, Istriya, Vaishya, Shudras, and then in the next verse it is Punar Brahmana and
Kim Punar
Punya
Brahmana,
Bhakta,
yeah,
and then Rajarishya. So
Bhakta Rajarshya Tatha.
Bhakta, this Bhakta is devotee or something else, and then Rajarishya, because whether Rajrishi comes before Bhakta in terms
We'll
of
read.
yeah, that will come. Okay, fine.
Okay, yeah,
Yes,
Yamuna Vilaspu. Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, gradation of devotee as such, Prabhupada writes in NOI 5. Those who want, they can refer that also. Yeah, some discussion happened last time also that whether we should have some devotees whom, whether as sadhakas should we see the gradation among devotees. So Prabhupada himself writes in the NOI 5, Krishneti yasya giritam manasadriyata, that shloka, that those who are having the Krishna word in their mouth, we should offer them respects through our mind. And then Dikshasti Chet Pranativish Bhajantam Isham. Those who are have accepted Diksha and Bhajantam Isham, they are doing the bhajan of the Lord. So Pranati. So we should offer our respectful obeisances to them physically. And then Shushrushaya Bhajan Vigya. And those who are Bhajan Vigya, very nicely knowing the path of Bhajan. Sushrushaya, we should serve them. And then Anya Nindadi Shunya. So those who are fourth category, they are superlative. They are free from the like criticism of any other person. Anya Nindadi Shunya. So Sangalabdya. For with them we have to desire our association. So you were asking also whose resource association we should ask. So that fourth category, who are completely free from the criticism of any other person, whether that person has fault or not. Okay, like that. So that person's association we should desire. So why it is stated there? If you read the commentary, Prabhupada says one should accept the Uttamadhikari Guru. So when one has to accept somebody as Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru, these categorizations are required. It's not that we want to offend them and categorize them and make them make it sure that yes, this person is lower and this person is higher. Not like that. Our mood is to do it in a way that whom we want to take association of, those who are higher. And how do we decide? That is understood from the Shastras. The Shastra explain those who are of Uttamadhikari nature, what qualities they have. So that is our mood, not to criticize or not to make sure that somebody is lower, prove it in the society that he is of the lower category. Not like that. Okay. Just wanted to clarify. Yes, someone even all us.
Hare Krishna Praji, thank you so much for clarifying, this that the difference between the two lower and higher bulb. It's clear for me, but when I read the translation, the maybe the writing way, it is like if you go to the translation project, it shows that
Yeah. I
when
know the translation, how it is.
yeah, when we read the translation project, anyone can misunderstand this verse because it is written in the way that though they be of lower birth, then there is a dash, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, and then dash. So at least anyone who reads, it seems that these four are in the category of lower birth. So
Yeah.
I don't know what is the significance of that dash, the two dash.
Yeah. See, I have two different dimensions of seeing it. One is Prabhupada never encouraged just to read his translations. he spent many hours to write his purports, explaining them. And in purport, he has clarified lower and higher categories in this verse. It's not that he is saying lower in this verse and higher in next verse. He is not saying like that. Okay, here itself he is saying that there are two categories, lower and higher. Okay. So that I'm showing here now. Here Prabhupada wrote it, lower and higher. So that is one thing that he clarifies, and he never encouraged us to read translations. And second thing is Prabhupada actually he took translations from the the version of Radha Krishna Bhagavad Gita actually. So translation, many of the translations are from that book. And he initial days when he was he was giving lectures. So he used to ask disciples because we didn't have the Bhagavad Gita printed at that time. So he asked the disciples to refer that Bhagavad Gita. He would not encourage them to read the purports, and he would repeatedly speak in his lectures. We know that he is speaking somebody, Krishna, who is within that person who is speaking on Kurukshetra. So like that, he is criticized many times. So it will come also in the 10.1 verse. It is going to come, and there he will say that this is actually not right understanding. This impersonal understanding. So basically, I am saying the point that in the initial days, the translations were taken from that book and translations of Radhakrishnan. And it was not Prabhupada's own translation. And later also, as I understand, it was not changed so much. It was edited, but some places it may be same also. So that is what we can understand. Yeah. So Prabhupada is indicating the clarity in the purport, and other acharyas also we can see they are very clearly saying. Even they have made a contrasting explanation here. Okay, there is a contrast. Okay, so that makes clear. So we should read with purpose. Is it okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, Aruna Mataji. So
Prabhuji,
many questions I did not expect in this sloka. I thought I'll go ahead and complete
I
this.
didn't
Yes.
have a question. I didn't have a doubt in the verse, Prabhuji. Actually, this doubt came from while you were answering the question of Arun Prabhu. Um, Prabhuji, Prabhupada had a spiritual body, but I remember when I did IDC, there it was said all our gurus come in Jiva Tattva. They are not Vishnu Tattva. So how come Prabhupada had,
No,
although
what I meant to say, what I meant to say, I will clarify. If you still have question, you can ask. What I meant to say is the word used in Bhakti Sandarbha is Trigunatit is one word because beyond the three modes, not influenced by three modes, and Swarup Siddha. Okay, Swarup Siddha is the word used. Swarup Siddha means one who is a person who has attained his Swarupa in the spiritual world. So Prabhupada is Nitya Siddha. Okay, he is eternally with us, Lord Sri Krishna. So in that sense, I was saying, not in the sense that the current body which he may be having in the material world is all spiritual, not in that sense. It may be made up of earth, water, air, ether, fire, whatever, Panchmahabhut, but it is spiritualized. So Prabhupada gave an example that iron rod is put into fire, so it is like fire. It can function as fire. So that's what he gave example. But at the same time, it's iron rod only. It's functioning as fire. It's not fire. It's iron rod working as fire. That we have to understand. In that sense, I spoke.
okay, Prabhuji. So although the body of all our acharyas are made of Panchabhut only, but they're still considered as spiritual because they are Nitya Mukta Jivas, right? That's what
And
you're
they are
saying?
eternal. Yeah, they are eternally engaging that body only in spiritual activity. It's yeah, in that sense. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Arun.
Like for the question of Yamuna Vilas Prabhuji, that today also I got the clear understanding of this Pap Yone and other three categories, and I was also thinking on this dash part. So when we study from English point of view, like when few words in a sentence come between two commas, then it has lower significance than the other words of the sentence, and when it comes between two hyphen, that is two dash, it has higher significance. So I was thinking earlier that this lower birth and then dash does not mean that lower birth shows women, Vaishya and Shudra. This dash, as it get cleared in purport, that this more than lower birth, this woman, Vaishya and Shudra are focused and belongs to higher category. Like that was my understanding. So is it clear? Like is it?
That also is correct. Yeah, that way also we can
Because
understand.
this thing we see in many purports of Srila Prabhupada, where things are written in between two hyphens, or between two commas, or maybe in translations also.
Hmm.
So maybe that will help here to understand.
Yes, bro. Yeah. Yeah.
Like if
If you
because outside people will ask this question. I was also thinking to ask this. Like if outside people ask that how is this, then we can give this grammatical understanding that these three things are more important than lower birth or the papionia.
yeah, that is also correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank
If you
you.
have see little bit Sanskrit knowledge, it's very simple. Ye api once is used api, and then again api is used. Okay, two times the word api is used in this verse. So what is the meaning? See, in simple Hindi, I will Hindi or Sanskrit is there. Mami parth vyapashitra ye pishu papayonya. This is saying that okay, even though they may be of papayonya, they will if they have taken shelter of me, they will attain paramgatim. This is one sentence. Another sentence is te api. Who are the te? They are these three people. Striyo Vaishya Tatha Shudras te api, and they also can attain paramgati. So clearly Krishna himself has made two categories by saying two times api. Okay, one category is papayoni, they will get surely. And what to speak then of Stri Vaishya Tata Shudra, they are even higher. And the next shloka, yes, there are some people who are even higher. So he has already made the three categories. So it's very simple if we have little understanding of Sanskrit also. Okay. Thank you. Okay, I hope there are no more questions. Go ahead. 33rd verse. Kim punar brahmana punya bhakta rajarshaya tatha anityam sukham lokam imam prapya bhajashvaham bhajashvamam. Yeah. Okay. Madhavarina Prabhu, would you like to read?
Krishna. Translation. How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me.
Okay, so two parts of the verse is there. This is one part, the second part. So this is talking about the material world. This is talking about the same previous shloka continuation. Okay, is continued. What is continued? Kim punar. What then? What again? Like that. See how much again? Prabhupada is translated. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Already explained in the previous verse. Now Krishna is continuing with some other categories. 5, Brahmana. 6th, Bhakta. Raja, Rishis. 7th, Tatha. Yeah, what Prabhupada is written also. They also. What then? What again? To speak of these three categories, they also are what? Paramgati. What is told in the previous verse. They also attain Paramgati. So you see clearly Krishna is speaking of higher and higher categories. And what is the nature of this material world? Anityam, Asukham, Lokam, this world, Imam Lokam, this world, Prapya Bhajashva Mam. So what Prabhupada has translated, gaining, engaging in devotional service. Basically what was told in the previous verse, unto me. Okay, Paramgatim they will attain. By doing this, they will attain Paramgatim. Okay. Okay, let's see the commentary. Yes, please read.
But to speak of Brahmanas born in pure families of good conduct who are devotees. Therefore, you should worship me.
Yeah, so this is only the commentary, I think. Yeah. So, yeah, see the contrast again from the previous verse. There is a contrast. What then? Kim Punar. We speak of who? Brahmanas. Okay. Who are born in pure families. Okay, as we understood from 6th chapter. Yeah, so they may be born in a righteous family, or they may be born in a basically a Brahmana's family if they have done higher amount of punya. And then who are of good conduct and who are also devotees. Okay, who are also devotees. Means they do the practices of devotional service like that. Therefore, you should worship me, he's saying to Arjuna. Yeah. Okay. Please read this.
Baladev. What then can we say of Brahmanas and Kshatriyas who are saintly kings, who have been fortunate to be born in a pure families, punya, and who become devotees with proper conduct? Certainly, they will attain me, the supreme state. There is no doubt about this. Therefore, you, O saintly king, having attained this world, should worship me. Give up the desire for kingdom in this world, which has a little limited happiness, asukham, subject to destruction, anityam. Worship me, possessing eternal, unlimited happiness, and attain me. It is suggested here that one will quickly attain the Lord, since worshipping alone is mentioned. In this verse, the Lord, by clearly saying that the world is temporary, negates the idea that world is completely false.
Yeah, so this is speaking about the second part of the verse. Correct. Anityam asukham lokam. Correct. They are speaking about the second part of the verse. And then previously, whatever was told in the first part is explained here. Okay. So what he is saying here, so they will surely attain. Okay, what they will attain? Supreme state, Param Gatim. Correct. Same thing Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying. Param Gatim they will attain. Without doubt they will attain. Okay. And here, sorry, this first part. Here was the second part. Sukham, Anityam, all that words are explained. Okay. So this is also explained in other places in Bhagavad Gita, like Dukkhalayam. Correct. So the material world is called as Dukkhalayam, Ashashvatam. Similarly, here it's called Asukham, Dukkhalayam. That is similar to Dukkhalayam. And then Anityam is Ashashvat. Okay, similar words are used in other places to explain the material world. Okay. And worship me. Where is the worship me indicated in the verse?
Bhajasva.
Bhajashva. Bhajashva. Okay. Possessing eternal unlimited happiness. Okay. And attain me. Paramgatim, like that. Prapya mam. Yeah, they attain me. Prapya mam is there in the verse. Right. Okay. Yes, please continue.
In this world, there are classifications of people, but after all, this world is not a happy place for anyone. It is clearly stated here, Anityam Asukham Lokam. This world is temporary and full of miseries, not habitable for any sane gentleman. This world is declared by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to be temporary and full of miseries. Some philosophers, especially Mayavadi philosophers, say that this world is false. But we can understand from Bhagavad Gita that the world is not false, it's temporary. There is a difference between temporary and false. This world is temporary, but there is another world which is eternal. This world is miserable, but the other world is eternal and blissful.
Yeah. So Prabhupada is again contrasting here between spiritual world and the material world. Okay. And this understanding is very, very important. Okay. Anitya word is used. Okay. So Anitya word is used for saying that it is not false or it is temporary. Okay. Because who says that the world is false? The Mayavadis. The Mayavadis say that the world is false. Correct. Asatyam, like that. Yes, please read.
Arjuna was born in a saintly royal family. To him also the Lord says, take to my devotional service and come quickly back to Godhead, back home. No one should remain in this temporary world, full as it is with miseries. Everyone should attach himself to the bosom of Supreme Personality of Godhead so that he can be eternally happy. The devotional service of the Supreme Lord is the only process by which all problems of all classes of men can be solved. Everyone should therefore take to Krishna consciousness and make his life perfect.
Yeah. So here again, Prabhupada is saying, Arjuna was born in a saintly royal family. So he was a Raja Rishi. And then here he is saying again that to him also the Lord says, take to my devotional service. Bhajashva, Mam Bhajashva. And then what will happen? Prapya Mam. You will quickly attain. Okay, Prapya. So that word Prabhupada is explaining here. And then Anityam, Asukham. That he is explaining. Asukham, Anityam. Okay. So having completed that part, that okay, there are not only people who are purified of incidental or accidental sins, but also natural or inherent sins are purified by the path of bhakti. That was the section till now we discussed. Glories of bhakti was this section actually. Okay, how the bhakti is glorious. Okay, now Krishna is concluding this glory of bhaktis, this section in this verse. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evashyashi guttetvam atmanam matparayanah. So this similar verse comes in the last chapter also. Except one line, everything is same. Okay. Isha Mataji, could you read?
Yes, Prabhu.
I think you read, no? First one.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Become my devotee, offer obeisances to me and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Yeah. So now Krishna told in the last verse, Prapyamam. Now he is saying how one can attain him. So what is the method? What is the process? What is the abhidaya that should be followed to attain him? So actually this he has been telling many times. Can you recollect where he has been telling similar kind of things that you should meditate upon? You should think about me, become my devotee. Where in the previous chapters we read? 7th, 8th, 9th chapters we read actually. Yeah, Yamuna will explore.
No, Proj, I was referring to another verse. I just realized it was
Okay.
Manmana
Yeah,
Bhava.
where else we read about thinking
Actually,
about
I
me?
think this Satatam Kirtayantu Mam Edantasya Jaratva.
Okay, Kirtayantam Yatanchasya Dridavita. Okay. Namasyantascha Mam Bhaktya Nityayukta Upasate. Yeah, Namasyantascha, they offer obeisances. Okay. Nityayukta Upasate, they worship me. Okay. Yes, good. Yeah, where else this thinking is mentioned? Become my devotee. Just now we read previous chapter, this chapter we read so many verses which were part of bhakti. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Anybody remembers that verse? It is there in Bhagavad Gita or it's in Srimad Bhagavatam? We read in Bhagavad Gita only, if you remember. Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. Chintayanto.
Yajana Paripasate.
Correct. Mam. Thinking of. Correct. Yesham Nitya Abhiyuktanam. Okay, become my devotee. So all that verses we read, there are many verses where Krishna has been telling all these things. Okay. So Yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana. What is the meaning of the antaratmana? Same thing. Chintayanto. Antar atmana. Think of me within you. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam. Bhajate, again that word came there. Worship me. Samay yukta tamo mataha. You will always remain with me. You will become my devotee. So many shlokas Krishna has been telling this. This is not something new, but he said this is a principle which he repeats again and again. Okay. Yeah. Okay, please read.
In this verse, the Lord concludes by describing the method of worship. Therefore, having absorbed your body and mind in me, you will certainly come to me. That position, that supreme position of pure bhakti, the topmost secret, which does not discriminate between who is qualified or unqualified, and by its contact purifies all persons, has been described in this chapter. Here ends the commentaries on the 9th chapter of the Gita for the pleasure of devotees' mind by the mercy of acharyas.
Yeah, so this is what the concluding remark Vishwanath Chakravarti is giving, saying that what was explained was in this verse, last 4 verses basically. Okay, so everybody is purified just by the contact of bhakti or the devotees. Okay. That is the power of or glory of bhakti. Yeah. Yeah, please read. Well, then,
Yes, the person devoted to the kings, king, the king's servant, because he thinks of his wife and other things. Though he thinks of the king also, does not become a real devotee of a king, completely identifying with the king's needs. But you should not be like that. You should be my devotee who thinks of me at all the times. Man mana mad mad bhakta.
Yeah, so what one nice example Baldev Vidyabhushan is giving here. What how a devotee should think of the Lord. Correct. So he told man mana man means basically it is mat. Mat manah. Okay. Always me is mat. Thinking manah. Okay. Always think of me. So he is giving an example how one should think. The person devoted to the king means he is a servant of the king. Okay. He is some servant of the king. He is doing what? He thinks of his own wife also, correct? How to maintain my wife. Okay. And other things like maybe children or some other things in the home. He may be thinking. Though he thinks of the king also. He thinks of the king also. When he goes to the ministers, when he goes to the court, he may think of the king also. And then he says, does not become a real devotee of the king. Okay, he doesn't become a real devotee of the king because he is having other thoughts also, right? Completely identifying with the king's needs. So Baldev Vidyabhushan is saying you should not become like this. Who is the king here? The king is Krishna. Okay. And who is king's servant? Is we, all of us. So you should not be like that. Means sometimes you think of Krishna and sometimes you think about the family. Sometimes you think about your needs. Why not like that? I think he's going to explain that Yoga Shema Mahamiham. I already told you that I will take care of all your needs. So that does not mean one doesn't take the responsibility of the family or responsibility of other things like he may have a job, he may need a vehicle for the job, or he may need a whatever the facilities he may need for the job or taking care of the family. So one takes the responsibility of the family. Okay, responsibility is not denied. Okay, but one should not be obsessed about the material uh, things or material part of it. Okay, in the sense that he gets distracted from Krishna only and he disconnects it from Krishna. That oh, Krishna is not fulfilling the needs of my family, but I am fulfilling the needs of my family. He should not think like that. Krishna said, Yoga Shema Vahamyam. Whatever you have, I will make sure that you keep it with you, and whatever you don't have, I will make sure that I will give it. Okay. So that is the understanding Krishna is trying to speak here. So consider that you take responsibility, but I am trying to fulfill it through you, whatever are the requirements, like that. Yeah, please read.
Have your mind like an unbroken stream of honey constantly absorbed in me, the son of Vasudeva, possessing qualities such as a complexion like a blue lotus. Through understanding my lordship over you and my bestowal of highest benefit to you, then be my worshipper, be absorbed in worshipping my form, the most dear object. Offer your respects to my form with intense prema. Having offered your mind and body to me, taking shelter only of me, you will come to me.
Yeah, so here he is explaining the path. How one can engage his mind exclusively on Krishna. He told, no, you should be devoted only to me. Okay. Think of me at all times, what he said. So that he is explaining that how one can do like that. Okay. What form should one think of Krishna? He's saying, okay, as the Vasudev, the son of Vasudev, like that, and possessing qualities like whatever, and then color of blue lotus, all these things, the form, okay, and then whatever in the shloka as he is explaining, okay, worship me, absorbed in worshipping the form mentioned here as the most dear object, okay, and then namasyantascha, offer your respects unto me with prema, intense prema, like that. So all the path he is explaining, how one should absorb one's mind. Okay, yeah, please read.
By this statement, it is understood that after offering these activities of bhakti to the Lord, one performs them. In this chapter, bhakti, like a Ganga, not considering who is suitable or unsuitable and destroying all sins,
by its very touch, is alone considered to be the king of all secrets.
Yeah, so very, very important. Both points are very important. Here he is explaining about the thing which we have already understood earlier. So this is the summary of the chapter, basically. So summary of chapter 9, Baldev Vidabhushan is giving, as Vishwanath Chakravarti gave. So he is saying that one should perform them later. And then first one, what one should have done? Offer it first. So we read this earlier. Anybody remembers where we read this? Which verse did we read this?
Patram Pushpam
Patram
Phalam Toyam.
Pushpam Phalam Toyam.
Yes. And what are the reference Acharyas gave for that from Bhagavatam for this principle?
2.1.5, Prabhuji.
What is it, Shloka?
I have only got. I have to see. Sorry.
Like lawyer is quoting the number in the court, and then the judge is asking which is
That
that.
was written in my Bhagavad Gita. That's why I'm sorry.
Okay. Then the lawyer is saying, I never read that book actually, but I have quoted. No, actually that may be in some connection. I don't know. But this is actually Prahlad Maharaj's prayers. He says that idam. I forgot. Yeah. So he says that verse, two verses. Yeah. Pumsa arpita Vishnu bhaktisched navalakshana kriyeta bhakti adda yanmanye adhitam uttamam. Yeah, that is it. Yeah. So he says this 9 activities, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, all these 9 activities. So first it should be offered, okay, and then performed. So in the verse, if you see the word which comes first is offering, okay. Idam pumsa arpita Vishnu. First it should be done arpana to the Lord, and then create a bhakti adda, and then it should be performed later. So that was the reference he gave. So we should remember that reference, okay. And then second, yeah, as he is saying about this section 9.30 to 33, okay, that everybody is purified. An example is Ganga. Ganga touches anyone, she purifies. In the same way, the bhakti purifies all kinds of people, whether they are accidental sins or sins which are inherent in the people. Yeah, read.
In this verse, it is clearly indicated that Krishna consciousness is the only means of being delivered from the clutches of this contaminated material world. Sometimes unscrupulous commentators distort the meaning of what is clearly stated here, that all the devotional service should be offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Unfortunately, unscrupulous commentators divert the mind of the readers to that which is not at all feasible. Such commentators do not know that there is no difference between Krishna's mind and Krishna. Krishna is not an ordinary human being. He is absolute truth. His body, his mind, and he himself are one and absolute.
Yeah, this is what we were discussing earlier. So there are some commentators who may have this understanding which is not coming in parampara. So Prabhupada is saying that. Okay, that something within Krishna we have to take shelter of. Okay, that is not spoken in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, please read.
It is stated in Kurma Purana as it is quoted by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhashya comments on Chaitanya Charitamrita, 5th chapter Adi Leela, verse 41 to 48. Deha dehi vibhado aham neshwara vidyate kvachit. This means that there is no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between himself and his body. But because of the commentators do not know the science of Krishna, they hide Krishna and divide his personality from his mind or from his body. Although this is sheer ignorance of the science of Krishna, some man makes profit out of misleading people.
Yeah, see, this is very important. This is a reference Prabhupada has found out from Chaitanya Charitamrita. For what? This point. What they are saying, Krishna's mind and Krishna, they are different. These people are saying, but Prabhupada said, no, there is no difference. So these people will ask, oh, you are saying there is no difference. We are saying there is difference. So you may be right, I may be right. Who will decide who is right? So Prabhupada is saying, no, I am only right. You are not right. How? Here already in Chaitanya Charitamrita he is saying that Deha, Dehi. Dehi means one who possesses the body. Body is Deha. Vibhedo, difference. I am na Ishware. It's not present in Ishvara. Vidyate kvachit. At any time. At any time it is not known. Vidyate. So that means there is no difference in Krishna, the Supreme Lord, between himself and his body. Deha, Dehi. So he has quoted that reference to defeat that argument. That we have to also understand. We can remember this argument. That yeah, this Deha, Dehi, Vivedo, I am Neshwari Vidyate kvachit. Very simple to remember. At least we should remember the English and the reference that it is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So when anybody asks, at least we can search. Okay. Yes. Yeah, please continue.
There are some who are demonic. They also think of Krishna, but enviously, just like King Kamsa, Krishna's uncle. He was also thinking of Krishna always, but he thought of Krishna as his enemy. He was always in anxiety, wondering when Krishna would come to kill him. That kind of thinking will not help us.
Yeah,
One should be thinking of
why
Krishna.
Prabhupada is just speaking about this thinking now suddenly? And why giving example of Kamsa? What anybody is understanding why suddenly he is going to this point? Yeah, okay. Yamuna will ask bro.
Manmana about always thinking of me. So one
Yeah,
needs to
he is
think
now explaining the verse now. He is explaining the verse now one by one. So Manmana he started to explain. Okay, and in what sense one should worship? In the bhava mad bhakto. Not like abhakta, like Kamsa. Not just think, but think with what? As a devotee, favorably. Okay, so that favorable, anukul is he is saying. Yeah, then continue.
Should be thinking of Krishna in devotional love. That is bhakti. One should cultivate the knowledge of Krishna continuously. What is the favorable cultivation? It is to be learned from a bona fide teacher. One should therefore engage his mind in the eternal form, the primeval form of Krishna, whose with conviction in his heart that Krishna is the supreme, and he should engage himself in the worship. There are hundreds and thousands of temples in India for the worship of Krishna, and devotional service is practiced there.
Yeah, so now what Prabhupada is explaining here in this part? Yeah, somebody else can
Krishna,
take. Yeah,
uh,
Mataji, yeah.
Prabhupada here is explaining to engage our mind in Krishna's service rather than just only by externally worshipping Krishna. Like there are thousands, he is quoting that there are thousands of temples in India for worship of Krishna and devotional
No,
service.
I am asking what is the part of the shloka Prabhupada is explaining here?
Acha,
Yeah.
which is the part of the shloka.
Ah, yes, yes. From the shloka.
Mamevasya Suyuktamte.
No, not that. Okay.
Yaji.
Somebody raised hand, na? Prasanna Gopalpur. Yes, Prabhu.
Yukta engaging how to engage oneself now. So
Yukta
telling that
okay.
Continue. That there are many temples to do these activities to engage oneself.
Correct. Yes, yeah. So actually he is not explaining only one point. So as Mataji also said, engage his mind, mana, okay, in the eternal form, primal form of Krishna with conviction, okay, in his heart that Krishna is the supreme, and engage himself in worship. So you see worship, Yuktaveva, okay, and then he is saying about there are hundreds and thousands of temples. So what is the method of doing this? Whatever is explained here, what is the method of doing this? So one word is namaskuru, offer obeisances. Okay. And he is saying yuktvevam atmanam mat parayana. Okay. So you should engage your mind in and or absorb it into me. So that how to do that is through the many temples established. So now Prabhupada will build that point. You will see that what he is saying about this engaging mind. Yes, please read.
one should lower his head before the deity and engage his mind, his body, his activities, everything. That will make one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation.
Yeah.
This will help one transfer to Krishna Loka. One should not be deviated by the unscrupulous commentators. One must engage in 9 different processes of devotional service, beginning with hearing and chanting about Krishna. Pure devotional service is the highest achievement of human society.
Yeah, so again, if you see here, he is talking about that same absorption and offering obeisances in the temples, namaskuru, and engaging the mind, that is manmana, and madhyaji, where he spoke that, yeah, worship here. Here. So madhyaji, yajan, he spoke there. And transfer one to Krishna Loka. Where is that mentioned? Where is this coming from? Mat Parayana. See that word, Mat. He will become Mat Parayana.
Devoted to me.
Yeah, correct. Yes. Yeah, and how one should do? Engage in the 9 limbs of bhakti. Begin with hearing and chanting. Okay. Yes. Yes, please read.
The devotee in the beginning may sometimes fall from the standard, but still he should be considered superior to all other philosophers and yogis. One who always engages in Krishna consciousness should be understood to be perfectly saintly person. His accidental non-devotional activity will diminish and he will soon be situated without any doubt in complete perfection. The pure devotee has no actual chance to fall down because the Supreme Personality, Supreme Goddess, personally takes care of his pure devotees. Therefore, the intelligent person should take directly to the process of Krishna consciousness and happily live in the material world. He will eventually receive the supreme award of Krishna.
Yeah, so many things actually Prabhupada told. If you see, analyze this part. See, in the beginning may sometimes fall. Which part of the chapter he is talking about? We read na in Bhagavad Gita now.
9.30.
Yeah, Apichet Suduracharo, like that he is speaking. Okay, but still he is considered superior. What is that? Sadhureva samantavya. Correct. Sadhu Eva. He is considered like that. And he is better than all other yogis and philosophers actually. Okay. So there also it was mentioned Param Gatim. Okay. So he will attain higher destination than yogis and philosophers like that. And then one who is always engaged, he is perfectly saintly. Sadhureva samantavya. Okay. And these all will diminish. What is mentioned there? Chipram bhavti dharmatma. Correct. Chipram. Very quickly he will become dharmatma. And yeah, soon be situated. And without any doubt, Shashva Shantim Nigachati. Pantya Pratijani Name Bhaktavan. Okay, what is previous? Apiche Sudharacharo. Bhajatemam Ananya Bhat. Sadhureva Samantavya. Samyak Vivastita Vaisa. Yeah. So he will be situated without any doubts. Samyak Vivastita. Like that. Pure devotee has no actual chance to fall. Okay. He takes care of pure devotees. So how he takes care? If you remember, we discussed he takes care of both spiritual and material part. In which shloka we discussed?
Yogakshem Vaham.
Yes. Thank you, Prajya. So Yoga Shamam Vahamyam. So there we discussed he takes the yoga and Shema, both. He does for the spiritual as well as material parts. So that's what Prabhupada is saying here. Okay. He takes care of his devotees. So see, whole 9th chapter actually is trying to summarize in these points. Therefore, the intelligent person should take directly to the process of Krishna consciousness, happily live in this material world. He eventually receives the supreme award of Krishna. What is the supreme award of Krishna? That he mentioned here. Mat Parayana. He'll attain my abode. Okay. So see, whatever purports we read, we have to connect it back to the verse. We have to connect to the other shlokas what we have read. If we just keep on reading mindlessly, then we will all never feel any juice in reading only Bhagavad Gita or any other books of Prabhupada. We'll just keep thinking Prabhupada speaks the same thing again. And that is actually the root cause why devotees from ISKCON may leave. Okay, you may be hearing now and then that, oh, this devotee left from ISKCON, he went to Radha Kund, he went to that Babaji, he went to this. So everything Prabhupada has also given, but we may not have the maturity to accept it, or we may not be able to find it. Okay, so better we should understand it in this way so that we can relish the books better. Okay, I think we just completed. Okay, any questions on what we discussed in these 3 shlokas? Yamuna Las Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for
Hare Krishna.
your explanation. Prabhuji,
No,
regarding
I
this
am not
Baldev,
explaining. Acharya is only explaining. I'm just connecting it, trying to connect.
yeah.
Something may be wrong also. Yes, bro.
Prabhuji, regarding this Baldev Vidyabhushan, one example was quoted about the king and king's servant. That the king's
Yeah.
servant, although thinks about the king, but he's also thinking about his wife and other things. So that the point was that we should always constantly think of Krishna.
Yeah.
When I heard this example, I was reflecting, as you compared, like Krishna is king and we are Krishna's servant.
Yes.
So it's very difficult, Project, to always think about Krishna, during all the activities, because there are so many things going. We are thinking about our family, wife, other activities. So how we can always think about Krishna, practically in our day-to-day life. So I just wanted to understand.
Yeah. Actually, we have discussed sometimes, but I will just try to repeat. See, thinking always about Krishna, it's not very easy for a sadhaka. Because if you remember that verse we discussed, Satatam Kirtayantamam. So that verse is said it is actually for a sadhaka, Satatam may not be possible every moment as Krishna is expecting. It is a verse for the devotees who are like perfected. They attend bhava stage or prema stage. For them, it is like they can always think of Krishna and they can have different meditations on Krishna. But however, if we are thinking as a sadhaka, then we should encourage ourselves to think more and more. That is good. And at the same time, as we discussed earlier, always thinking is not okay. You tell, bro, what is your understanding of always thinking? What is your understanding of that term? What do you
My
mean?
understanding, yeah. So my understanding is whatever activities we are doing, we should do that activity for Krishna's pleasure and connect them to the Lord's pleasure.
Okay, yes, so that is right understanding. Yeah. So when you say taking care of family or other things, job or whatever, so do you think you are doing it for your own pleasure and it's not connected to Krishna? With what understanding you feel you are doing it? Is it disconnected from Krishna?
No, Praji, but yeah, I mean, to be honest, yeah, like
Yeah,
theoretically, I
honestly,
may,
only you to tell.
yeah. Theoretically, I may say that I'm doing for Krishna's pleasure, but I don't think so that all the time that thought is going back of mind.
What is going
That I'm
back of mind? That
when
you are
I'm
not
doing
doing
that,
it.
yeah, when I'm doing that activity, I may not be thinking, oh, I'm doing this activity for Krishna's pleasure. Or, so I'm just doing it mechanically or, just as a responsibility I'm doing.
Yes, yeah. So if that is a doubt, na, bro, see, okay, that word is, one minute. See, that word is called Anushilanam, which will come in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. We'll discuss in detail. The meaning of this word is continuous. Okay, continuous. It has other meanings also that I'm not taking now. It also means practice or some kind of cultivation. I'm not taking that now. I'm just taking the meaning continuous, which is in context of our discussion. So continuous is different for a bhava bhakta or prema bhakta. And for a sadhaka, the continuous is not every moment. For a sadhaka, continuous, we have to understand it is every day regulated way. Okay, that we have to understand. This is one part of the answer. Second is when you say that I am not always thinking of Krishna, I feel you are saying in the sense that you are not directly thinking of Krishna. But please understand that it includes both indirect and direct thinking for a sadhaka. Direct thinking is what? Is performing the 9 limbs of bhakti. Okay, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, all that things, you know. Indirect is what? Those things which are favorable for 9 limbs, or favorable for the direct Krishna consciousness. Like you have to earn some Lakshmi so that you can take care of family and your own needs. So whether that is performed for a reason that it will give us time and resources for practicing these 9 limbs. If it is done with that consciousness, that indirect thing, then it is also in the thinking of Krishna. You should not consider it separate from thinking of Krishna. Otherwise, Prabhupada would have always told that no, anybody who is a grihastha or who is doing any job or taking care of family are doing part-time bhakti. Okay. He would not have told. See, full-time devotee means what? Many times we have wrong understanding of full-time devotee. Full-time devotees means what? Who are doing 24 hours bhakti. Neither brahmacharis nor grihasthas, they may be doing full-time bhakti. Okay. For sadhaka, full-time bhakti is not possible. Okay. Doing 9 limbs always. So we have to understand practically. Practically, when I say, I'm not saying that it's going away from Shastra. Shastra, I speak that. So I can explain that in Bhakti Sindhu when we discuss, or I can send in the reference in the WhatsApp group. Directly doing 9 limbs as well as things which are supporting it are all considered into thinking of Krishna. Okay. Is it okay, bro?
Yes, Pradeep. No, thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I think I have tried to explain it earlier. It will become more clear. So please don't think that doing anything activity other than reading, hearing, chanting, all these things are not bhakti. No, if it is helping you somewhere doing these things, then it is also bhakti. Okay, it's not anartha. Anartha means which is unfavorable. Okay, it's not anartha. Okay. Yes, Prasanna Gopal Proji.
Proji, actually, the you mentioned lastly the mindful reading. We should read with applying mind. So just
Yeah.
my observation with you that you are like you have perfected that mindful reading. So I had curiosity to ask you, how did you develop, and do you like can you tell some tips to like, or do you practice the while normal reading also you wait for some time and then connect something, some like the related things, so that it becomes a mindful. So can you just give some tips or your no wisdom in that part? It will help.
No, nothing wisdom, Proji. I am also a sadhaka like all of you. But one thing is that I have a desire to understand what Prabhupada is saying through the understanding of previous Acharya and the shloka. So one thing we can do practically is we can keep the shloka always in front. Because many times when we read books, shloka is some other page and the purport we are reading is some other page. So we may not sometimes connect and we don't remember the shloka words because we may not have that habit. So I try to keep the shloka in front either on screen or on book so that we can connect it again and again. And this is not my habit. Actually, some seniors whom I hear to, like Balram Shakti Prabhu or other devotees, Radhesham Prabhu, yeah, there are so many Kanai Krishna Prabhu. I hear from them. So they also do these things. And this is called actually in Vedic system, it is called as doing Anvaya. Okay, trying to connect back the words of the shloka or the purport to the shloka so that we understand what the Acharya is trying to explain about this shloka. Okay, otherwise we get a general understanding. No harm in that. We get a general understanding of bhakti. But when it comes to application, we will not able to understand, oh, this principle which I have read, I have to apply where? In which circumstances I have to apply. So if I read something in suppose Bhishma's section when he is leaving body, so we understand, okay, this is this situation when he is telling propositioning certain thing in the purport, it is in this situation. And then there is Chitraketu who is cursed. He is telling in this situation. So we have to always connect it with the shloka, the whole discussion going on. Otherwise, if we just keep on reading, we'll have a general understanding of bhakti. That general understanding we will apply everywhere which is specific. Because life situations are always specific problems. So we cannot apply general principles in situations which are specific. So we have to apply specific to specific only, actually. And some are obviously like Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They are eternal. That is applicable everywhere. But many times we have to do something specific application. So I try to learn from superiors and they have taught in this way. So I try to follow them. And sometimes we pray to Krishna also that Krishna give us intelligence to read it properly, because Prabhupada himself wanted devotees to read his books nicely. So we are trying in Prabhupada's service to inspire others also to read it in a similar way. So there are so many faults also, like which maybe devotees also, some of you may be knowing, but you may not be speaking out of your humility that something could be better connected. So I'm trying from, because I'm doing one service of teaching here. So I'm trying to do my part, but some of you can do it better also. So that's perfectly fine. So I'm just trying to do in this way. So is it okay, Prabhuji? Like not answering your
Yes,
question,
yes,
but
yes.
I'm trying to share whatever.
No, no, it is answered also and it is satisfied also. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Prabhuji. Please don't take any offenses.
Thank you.
I did not have any
No,
intention of answering harshly
no, it is
last time also.
yeah.
But
No, no.
yeah, so whatever. I tried my best. Thank you. So Prerna Mataji, your hand is up. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. First of all, thank you very much for giving us a proper vision to study the scriptures. Thank you very much. And regarding with what Yamuna Vilas Prabhuji was asking the question, how as a Gresta we can continuously, we cannot be continuously Krishna conscious or in that mode of serving, but what I understood or what one of my Shiksha Guru told me that try to become a humble servant of every living entity, whether it is a body of a human being or what. Try to serve your best to them, and by practicing this humility inside you, you can remain Krishna conscious. So I just wanted your viewpoint upon this, that can we become Krishna conscious by just practicing this understanding that I'm only the servant of everyone.
Yes, yes, Mata. Yeah, this is explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually, fifth chapter, Advaita Acharya's chapter. Na? If you just read some verses 67, 68 onwards, there it's explained how Advaita Acharya is the servant of all, and then Krishna himself becomes servant of his devotees, and Radharani becomes the servant of the other devotees. So there, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is taking one personality from the spiritual world, Balram. Balramji becomes servants of Krishna in 5 rasas and so many other things. So he takes one personality from the spiritual world and then explains how they are all trying to become servant. So as you are saying, that is the essence actually of all the principles. So Prabhupada also taught that.
That was not my understanding. That was instruction given by superior.
Yeah, you
It
accepted
was
it.
not
That is your
mine.
glory. Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
that's why. Yeah, that is good. Yes, that is nice, Mataji. Okay. So any other devotees, if they have any points to share, any feedback? Yeah, I did not ask anytime any feedback. You can give some negative feedback also. Positive we got already. Some things which we can improve, because there are only 6 minutes remaining now. So we will not go to 10th chapter. One thing is surely we are going slow, not slow, I think very slow. So one thing is we have completed now. Anybody has any idea how much percentage we completed of Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter? Okay, maybe you can calculate it later, but we have completed 53% of Bhagavad Gita. And the next chapter, 10.4, is the middle of the Bhagavad Gita. May not be most important, but the most important is going to come from 10.8 to 11, which is Chatushloki. Chatushloki means which is seed of the Bhagavad Gita. And after that, Bhagavad Gita will get completed actually here. After that, Krishna will speak, then Arjuna will glorify Krishna, and then Bhagavad Gita ends there actually. So after that is just discussion about some other separate topics, then the topics of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, I'll explain that in the next session. So we have completed little more than half, 53% we have completed. Okay, any other feedbacks if you want to give, we can improve. Yes, Aruna Mataji.
Prabhuji, I needed help with that folio part which you shared last week with me.
Okay.
So in last, I can ask you.
Yeah, at the end I will. Okay. Okay, anybody else want to share anything? Yes, Yamuna Vilas Pro.
Prabhuji, I think the pace is perfect, Prabhuji. I think it's rather than just completing the course, in a specific time, it's better we get a clear understanding. I personally feel that this pace is better. And second thing, Proji, just a small suggestion. If we can have a couple of minutes break after 1 hour, or 4 minutes, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't want to slow the process, but it will
No,
be
no,
better
no, we
to
can.
just to
Yeah, I'm
stretch.
also
And
for it. I also used to do earlier, but
yeah, I
today
think we did that a couple of times.
yeah,
So
today somehow we didn't get any break in the flow. Yeah, actually, what I had thought, I will complete in 1 hour, ninth chapter, then give a break, and then start the 10th chapter. That's what I had thought. But somehow this ninth chapter discussion is lot in the last section, and there was one important shloka about Shastri, Vaishya Tatha Shudra. So that's why the discussion went more. So yeah, we will try to do that. Yeah, thank you, bro. Anything else you want to say?
no, that's it, Proji.
Okay, Kishore Madhav, bro.
Prabhu, one suggestion that though this is an online course, but since we are located near temple, can we have few occasions at least in between where we can meet you along with other nearby devotees and have some live sessions, maybe something of that, interaction sessions?
Yeah. Actually, I see most of the devotees during Bhagavatam classes or other times. I see most of the devotees who are here. I don't know how to tell that about meeting. We can do some class here in BVRV, Bhaktivedanta Raj Vidyalaya. If devotees are okay, sometimes we can do class here, and those who are online can be online. Like Yamuna Vilas Prabhu may not be able to be here present, and some other like Prabhuji Madhavarina Prabhu is in Nepal, so he will not be able to come. Yeah, but I'm okay. Sometimes we can have class here. We can see, Prabhu. Okay, in the 12th chapter, in the ending, we can see we can have 1 or 2 times when devotees can come. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Thank
can
you.
try. Yeah. And yeah, as such, ninth chapter was very, very important. And 10th chapter, as I told here, this 8 to 11, this will be most important. There we will spend some time and we'll take all three Acharya's commentaries. And all other times after that, we go to 11th chapter and the 12th chapter. They will go very fast, like just like we had the 8th chapter. So 8th chapter actually went very fast. If you remember, we covered from 9th to 28th shloka, we could cover in 1 day. That went very fast. So like that, 11th chapter also will go quite fast. And 10th chapter here, Vibhutis will be explained. So Vibhutis, Krishna will explain one verse about what he is representing in various entities. So that we will cover in one class. And this will take, I think, one class. And 11th and 12th chapters will take not much. 11th chapter, I think, has some more number of verses. That may take 3 classes. And 12th chapter will take 2 classes, I think. Yeah. There are not much to be discussion things. More discussion was in 9th and this 10th, 8 to 11th, Chatushloki will come. So I think we should be able to complete by April mid or April first week, I think. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Anybody want to share?
Okay, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, one more thing actually, Yamuna Vilas Prabhu was tirelessly doing the service of doing coordinatorship, and now he has DTs also at his home, and he's worshipping, and he has other servicing engagements at the temple. So he was requesting if somebody else can do also coordination for, I think, this unit and upcoming unit. So is there anybody who can do this service? So what services are there, Yamanalas 2? Can you tell in short, like what is the service?
I think,
Exactly.
Proji, now the services has reduced, like because the attendance is taken care by BBRV. So I think it's about more about posting a message in the group, announcement, any important announcements, and apart from that, exam coordination, uploading the attendance sheet to BRV link and creating a exam request. I mean, requesting for the exam.
Yeah, that's every unit one
Basically,
exam.
it's more about posting announcement messages on group. Sometimes because of time difference here, I miss sometimes posting a message.
Yeah.
So those kind of things.
Yeah, and also receiving messages from devotees if they are being absent. Oh, now you are, I think,
Yeah,
diverted to BVRV.
yes.
Yeah, so yeah, devotees can send to BVRV number only if they are not attending. But obviously, if you are not attending, it's not sure that you will be marked present, because that is only for emergency. If you are not able to attend, then you will have to hear the recording also later if you are missing it. Yeah. Okay. So we just thought if anybody else would like to do this service of mostly posting messages on WhatsApp and doing the exam conduction. So physically exam
Yeah.
conduction, Madhav, sorry, our what is it? Kishore Madhav had agreed to do. So those who are in
Yes,
Pune,
Prabhu.
physically they can come and write
Physical
exam.
exam, I will be able to volunteer.
Yeah, and then online exam, same time it happens, so that somebody else can coordinate. So that is once in a one unit, like basically already two exams have happened. So is there
Yeah.
anybody who want to do this service of being coordinator and relieve Yamuna Vilas Bro?
Not. Recording is also online project through cloud now. So
No, yeah,
maybe
recording is not part of the
this
service.
service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who else would like to do? Who should be good in some technical things? Okay. Okay. How about Arun Prabhu? He switched off his video. Yes, Arun Prabhu, would you like to do this service?
I can try, Broji, but actually, because on Saturday sometimes I have school, and so I can try, of course, no problem. If there is some fault, you can correct me,
No,
or
no.
then we can.
Yamuna Vilas Prabhu will tell actually what all should be done and when to be done. Saturday,
Yes,
as
Broji.
such, yeah, Friday messages should be posted. So he will
Yes.
tell what all to be done. So you see if you are feeling okay and you are able to do. Okay, otherwise we can ask some other devotees later. Okay.
Okay, Broji, I
So
can try, no problem.
okay. Thank
Yes.
you. So one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Arun Prabhu all can chant so that he can do
Hare
this
Krishna.
service. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Ram
Ram.
Ram, Hare. So you got the empowerment, bro, from all devotees. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So if anybody feels anytime any feedback you would like to give, you can personally send message to BVRV number also, or you can write mail to me adibhagwandas@gmail.com. Okay, so that will be nice, so that we can improve also. Not in the sense that correction, but we can improve. All can benefit from your feedback. Yes, Yamuna, let's prove.
Roji, regarding like I think some devotees are sending message to me for attendance. So should they send message to your WhatsApp number or the BVRV WhatsApp number? Because I think it is
My
handled by-
WhatsApp is not working. It's active. Active means it's not. I'm not able to access the messages because it's blocked by the temple. These personal messages I cannot see. So anybody wants to send me, they can send on the BVRV number. I read that. Okay.
BVRV. Okay.
Yeah, and if they send to you, then you can read or you can forward it to BVRV then. Okay, because already we have announced that they should send to BVRV. Okay, and yeah, now onwards after Arun Prabhu is coordinator, so they can send to Arun Prabhu. And please also send to BVRV. You can send to both, because sometimes if he is aware and BVRV or myself I am not aware, so then it becomes difficult. So send to both if possible. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna, Bhagavan.
Yes, Pranam Mataji, please.
Prabhuji,
After you. Yeah. Boliye, Mataji.
Prabhuji, is it okay if I ask you some query about Bhagavatam while reading Bhagavatam also? I get some question and is it okay if I mail you?
Yes, you can send me, Mataji, no problem. If
Your mail
I'll
ID
try.
is Adi Bhagwan Das.
Yeah, I will send in the chat box. Okay.
Okay.
You can send to that.
Okay.
Thank you. Shri Gangaput. Yes, Mataji, thank you. Shri Gangaput, you're asking something.
Prabhu, just request that could you please share the notes from Bhagavad Gita, first chapter to sixth also, if you have the same.
1 to 6. Actually, that I have not taken through. Actually, my career started with all of you only of teaching Bhakti Shastri. And this is my first time I am teaching. So I don't have any notes of previous ones. So I don't know. It may happen sometime in future if my feedback is good by all of you. So then I can
No
continue
worries,
teaching.
Prabhuji. You
Prabhuji, it
can
is excellent.
start completing of
We are
that
more
Shastri.
No, some devotees speaking, some may be not feeling good because it's taking more time, and I'm explaining too much some concept, or I'm explaining what I like. So then many things may be there. So we'll see in future if it is there.
yes.
We'll see. Yeah, but
Yes,
I
all
think
right,
you should
all right.
get yeah, some other
No, we
devotees.
have this. Like
Mm.
even Arjuna is the Prabhu also shared notes, but I was
Mm.
thinking with the along with this commentaries of different acharyas which we are giving.
Yeah,
Like the
those
session if we are.
commentaries are there in PPT format. Yeah, they are there. So you are asking that PPTs?
Yes, but if you notes if you don't have, then at least PPT we can
PPTs
share.
are there. Yeah,
Yeah.
PPTs I can share in Drive. Yeah, I will
Yes.
send. Yeah. Okay.
Thank
Yeah. Thank you, brother. You want to
Sorry, Prajit, for
see
taking
those
time.
who
I
are
think
getting delayed can leave. Okay.
I think we can make
Officially
a
end it.
single location project for uploading all the notes and documents, important documents. If we can do that, Google Drive links, one place for all the notes in a structured way. If we can do that, I think that will be better for in future also. If we want to refer, we can refer.
Okay, you are speaking about this 18 chapter notes PPT, or you are
Yeah,
speaking
all the
about
notes project for all the, I mean, for Sri Upanishad, then Bhagavad Gita, and then the upcoming Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction.
basically
We
you are
can
saying about the
Google
PPT.
Drive.
PPT.
Yeah,
you are
the
saying.
notes, yes, PPT notes. Because what happens in the WhatsApp that notes are lost after some time
One
if
by
you
we are
not
sharing.
downloaded. But Google
Yeah.
Drive link will be permanent, so we can always go and access it.
Okay, actually, yeah, I upload it in the Google Drive also and send in the group also. Yeah, because immediate access, sometimes I have seen the devotees, even though told multiple times, but they forget that it's there in the description. So I send it there also. And description, the link is there. There also it's updated. So
Okay, I think
yeah,
I
so
missed
both
it
the
then.
way I do. Okay, no? Yeah, so anyhow,
Okay,
I'll
Prajit.
send all the notes here. Okay, so if there are no more comments, then we can pause. Yes, Arunamati. Yes,
Prabhuji,
Veda base you are saying.
I Veda base plus one more thing, Prabhuji. I like in morning also I checked the recordings if they can be uploaded on YouTube in the same week. Like if I want to refer back the last week, it is still not there.
It's
So I have
not
to wait for
uploaded,
almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, we are working on that actually. How, yeah, I'm asking them to do, but somehow the load was more because today we had a IDC course to be started. So we could not do in the last week. So we'll try to keep it updated. Yeah. Best is
If you
that
give,
devotees can attend live classes. Yeah. If not, then recordings we'll try to upload.
so if you give me access or BBRV, then I can upload it on the same day after just after the class.
Yes, bro. I will discuss with you on that. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? Any other comments? Okay. So thank you very much for joining. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So I'll